Hello students, my name is Mrs. Akshita Shetty. I am a lecturer in commerce in SDPT College, Curtil. I teach quantitative technique to first year BCom students. My intention of making this video is to help students who have network issues during online lectures. Subscribe to the channel and share the video with BCom students of Mangalore University. This is the portion for first semester in quantitative techniques. Let me tell you about the subject. Okay. Quantitative techniques is divided in two parts. One is stats and mathematics. The first three chapters is of stats and the next two is of maths. The stats portion itself is enough for you to pass in the exam. Okay, so if you find stats easy, very good, you can manage to pass in the exam easily. But I believe all the students should try to score full marks, try to score the maximum marks possible. Okay, and for this you have to practice for minimum 3 times. You can practice along with me. I will be posting videos on regular basis. Last year approximately 45% of the students could not pass in quantitative techniques. I am a valuer in Mangalore University and I witnessed it. And this was only due to lack of practice. So you have to practice this subject, otherwise you will not pass. Okay? How good you might be, but you have to practice. Okay. Now, to score full marks, you have to make sure you practice minimum 3 times. And let me tell you about the allocation of marks. This subject is for 100 marks. $20 marks is for internals and 80 marks is externals. So in 20 marks internals will be conducted by your teacher. Now 80 marks externals. So your question paper is divided in 3 sections. Section A, Section B and Section C. In Section A there are 4 marks questions. In total 6 questions are given. And out of the 6 questions you have to attempt at least 4 questions. And each question carries 4 marks. So Section A is for 16 marks. Section B, again there would be 6 questions, out of which you have to attempt minimum 4 questions and each question carries 8 marks. So again Section B is for 32 marks. Section C, there would be 4 questions and out of 4 questions you have to attempt 2 questions. Each question will carry 16 marks. And you can score 32 marks. This makes it 80 marks. Out of 80, minimum you have to score 28 marks to pass. Okay, and out of 100, minimum you have to score 35 marks to pass. So out of 80, if you are scoring 28, and out of 100, if you are scoring 35, that means in your internals you have to score minimum 7, then only you will pass. Correct? So 28 plus 7 makes 35. Okay. Now, suppose in your internals you have scored full marks, which is 20 out of 20 you have scored in your internals. But in your externals, you have to score minimum 28, otherwise you fail. Suppose in your externals you have scored 22, still you fail. Though total is 42, still you fail. Okay, because in your external, your marks is not 28. So that means in your external, you have to score minimum 28 to pass in the exam, no matter how much you score in your internals. Suppose in your internals you score 5 marks, passing is 7 and you score 5 marks, but in the external you do well. Okay, in the external you have scored 40 marks. Okay, so 40 plus 5 makes it 45, still you pass. So internal marks is not that important. Okay, there is no passing mark in your internals. Okay, but external you have to score minimum 28, and your total also has to be minimum 35. Got it? So today we will start with the simplest chapter, which is the fourth chapter, commercial arithmetic. Now, first three chapter, which is introduction and basic concepts, descriptive statistics of univariate distribution, and index number. These three chapters is of statistics. Commercial arithmetic, ratio and proportion. These two chapter is of mathematics. Okay. So in my videos, I will be covering whole portion. So today we'll start with commercial arithmetic. So in commercial arithmetic, the first part is percentage. This whole chapter we have studied in our school. You might, I think this was in 8th standard or 6th standard. Yeah. So let's calculate. My first question, calculate 25% of 60. How much is 25% of 60? Please calculate. So how you will calculate? 60 into 25 upon 100. Correct? So how much is 60 into 25 upon 100? Sixty into 25 divide by 100. It comes to 15. So 25% of 60 is 15. Okay. Let's see question number 2. %% of 300 oranges are bad. How many oranges are bad? So how do you calculate? There are 300 oranges. Out of 300 oranges, 15% are bad. So how do you calculate? Find the 300. Calculate 300%. 15% of 300. So 300 into 15 upon 100. So 3 into 15 is 45, right? So 45. That means 45 oranges are bad. Let's see the next question. Question number 3. A whiteboard is reduced 20% in price in a sale. The old price was rupees 150. Find the new price. Okay. So old price is rupees 150 less 20%, and you will get new price. So 20% of 150. So 150 into 20 upon 100. So 150 upon 20, 150 into 20 upon 100 will be 30. Rupees 30. So 20% of 150 is rupees 30. So new price would be rupees 120. Correct? Or what you can do is, let old price be 100. This is one way to solve. Other way, let old price be 100. So less 20, you will get 80 as new price. So if 100 is 150, how much? 80 is how much? So cross multiply. When you cross multiply, you will do 80 into 150 upon 100. So when you do 80 into 150 upon 100, you will get rupees 120. Correct? This is other way to solve the same problem. You can choose any way. Okay? Let's see the next question. Okay. Express 5 by 8 in percentage. Okay, you have to write 5 by 8 in percentage. Very simple. What you will do? 5 upon 8 into 100. 5 upon 8 into 100 is how much? 5 divided by 8 into 100. 62.5. So 62.5% is the answer. So 5 by 8 is 62.5%. Next, what percent of rupees 500 is rupees 200? Okay. So what percent of rupees 200 of rupees 500 is rupees 200? That means you have to find out 200 is how much percent of 500. Correct? So okay. So 200 upon 500 into 100, which comes to 40%. So your answer is 40%. Right? Next, I am sure I don't need to explain because you have already studied this in school, right? You might be studying this since, I don't know, from maybe 4th standard. Okay. What will be 25% of rupees 800? How much is 25% of 800? If 800 is 100%, how much is 25%? So what you will do? 800 into 25 upon 100. So which will be 25 into 8. 25 into 8, 200. So 200. So 200 is 25% of 800. Okay. What will be 25% of 800? That means if 800 is 100, then 25 is how much? So cross multiply. 800 into 25 upon 100, which is 200. Right? So you can solve this way also. Next, 98% of students were present in a class and 12 students were absent. Okay, 12 students were absent. 98% of students were present in a class. That means 2% students were absent and 2% is 12. Right? So 2% of students are absent. And how much is 2%? 12 students. Find the total number of students. That means you have to find 100%. Correct? If 2% is 12, 100 is how much? So what you will do? 100 into 12 divide by 2. So you will get, I think, 600. 600 students. Correct? Very easy. 98% of students were present in a class. That means 2% were absent. Right? And 12 students were absent. So 2% means 12 students. If 12 students is 2%, find the total number of students. So total number of students is 100%. So if 2% is 12 students, 100% is how much? So 100 into 12 divided by 2. So it comes to 600 students. Very simple to solve. Let's see the next question. A student has to secure 50% marks to pass in strategic management subject. Okay, strategic management is a very interesting subject. You will be having this year for the portion. Okay. A student has to secure 50% marks to pass in strategic management subject. He scored 50 marks and fails by 25 marks. Okay. So how much student is scoring? Student is scoring 50 marks. But he is still failing. How much marks he is failing by? By 25 marks. That means passing mark is 75 marks. This is the passing marks. $75 marks is passing mark. And this 75 marks is 50%. Correct? Because he has to secure 50% marks to pass. So, if 75 marks is 50%, 100% is how much? So you will get 100 into 75 divided by 50, which will be 125. 125 marks. Correct? So, how you will write? Student scores 50 marks. Student scores 50 marks. Passing marks is 50 plus 25. So, 75 marks. I'll write it here. Okay. Student scores 50 marks given. Passing marks is 50 plus 25 because he failed by 25 marks, right? So 50 plus 25, 75 marks. Okay. So and a student has to secure 50% marks. So that means 75 marks is 50%. Okay. So 100% is how much? So what you will do? 100 into 75 divide by 50, which comes to 125 marks. Very easy. Okay. Next, a person spends 80% of his salary and saves rupees 2500 per month. What is his monthly salary? Okay. So, a person spends 80% of his salary. If he is spending 80% of his salary, that means 20% he is saving, right? And saves rupees 2500 per month. So 20% he is saving, that means, which is 2500. So what is his monthly salary? That means 100% is his monthly salary, correct? So a person spends 80%. That means he saves 20%, and it is given, that means his total salary is 100%. That is not a doubt, correct? So if he saves 20%, that is rupees 2500 per month. So how much is his monthly salary? So 100 into 2500 divide by 20. $12,500. Correct? Yeah. So rupees 12,500 is his total salary. Okay. Next, a catalog price of an article is rupees 500. A reduction of 12% is made for cash purchase. What is cash price? Okay. Catalog price is rupees 500 minus cash discount is 12%. So 12% of 500. So 500 into 12%. So 500 into 12% is how much? That means 500 into 12 by 100, right? So which comes to 60. So when you subtract 60, you will get cash price of 440. So cash price, what is the cash price? Cash price is 440. Correct? Or other way, how can you solve? If 100% is the catalog price, okay, minus 12% is cash discount. So that means 80 8% would be cash price, right? If 100 is rupees 500, how much is 88? So in this case, you will do 88 into 500 divide by 100. So that means 88 into 5, 440. 88 into 5 is 440. Okay, rupees 440. So this is the final answer. That's it for the day, students. We will be solving few more questions of percentage. Okay, and see you in the next class. Thank you very much. Please share this video with your friends and subscribe to the channel. Have a great day.